has to start and go at the same time this time, so I can't start it early and prep it. So it's getting close.
Live is happening now, huh? And it says meeting is now streaming on Facebook.
Very good. Okay, now I'm going to start the recording so everybody knows this is getting recorded. So
okay.
Keep your clothes on and stuff like that. Sorry, Jonathan. All right, Karen, you want to introduce?
Okay, I will. Hi, everybody. I would love to introduce Stephen Scott, who is our speaker for this evening's Abraham Fun Zoom chat. Stephen is a professor in Pennsylvania. He has an incredible ability to manifest what he wants to manifest, which is a pretty darn good thing. And that's what we're all enjoying doing or hoping to enjoy doing. Yeah, like that. And he's also a jokester. So we have to brace ourselves for that because this is usually a very stern group. However, we will turn it over to Stephen, and we've just asked him to speak as long as he wants about whatever he wants, but kind of filling us in on how he perhaps found Abraham and how that impacted his life and how he manifests. Take it away, Stephen.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Am I loud enough? I'm loud enough? Okay. So I discovered law of attraction, I would say about 4.5 to 5 years ago. And I think originally what sparked my attention was the documentary, The Secret. And then, of course, I read the book after that. And then at the time, I was unemployed. I had a lot of debt. I was in a marriage that I was very unhappy with. And I guess you could say I kind of hit my bottom, and I'm sure we can all relate to this. You know, we all kind of have our ups and downs throughout our lives. And I was kind of searching for meaning, I guess. I wanted to better understand why some people just seem to like have all this happiness and success and this amazing life. And then people like me at the time just seemed so unhappy with life. So I watched The Secret, and it really opened my eyes, you know, and I remember saying to myself, it cannot be this simple. You can't just, you can't just think of something and then add emotions to it and believe it. I thought, I was like, it cannot be this simple, or else why is it that not everyone knows this? It just seems like a huge, why aren't they teaching this in high school or middle school, or let's teach people in elementary school, let's get everyone to understand what they're capable of. So I watched The Secret, and then after that, I read the book, and then I guess the geeky side of me, the nerdy side of me, went on the internet, and I kept typing in law of attraction, and I slowly discovered, I was typing in everything. Like I discovered a lot of people talking about law of attraction and manifesting. So I would search literally hours and hours. Like that's how much of attention I was focusing on it. And I probably did research on it for about a month before I jumped in on it. And remember, at the time, I had hit my bottom. Okay, I was unemployed. We were living on food stamps, I believe, at the time. We were very low income, and it just seems like we were all, we have kids, and, when the parents are not happy, it's gonna, the kids are gonna be affected as well, because you're gonna end up sleeping more and not being as happy and as motivated. I always tell people the best thing you could do is be happy as a parent, because that's gonna, the more you shine at your job and with your family and at work, it's going to continue in all areas of your life, especially your home life. So about 3 or 4 weeks of researching it, I basically wrote down the key points. because what I discovered was some people were talking about how they lost weight with law of attraction, how they manifested their dream job, how they manifested what, if they wanted to be a smaller size or a bigger size. So their health, I guess you would say. There were some people that were talking about manifesting, the type of job they wanted or the type of house they wanted. So I had written down principles, I guess you would say. And while I was doing my research, I noticed a lot of people were talking about Abraham. So I went on YouTube and I typed in Abraham, and this is how I found all of the seminars. People find this hard to believe, but I never had an LOA coach. I never even bought a law of attraction book. It's just, there's so much information online you can get for free. And I tell people that all the time, like there's so much information out there. What was nice is on YouTube, all of these seminars are on there, and I would play them over and over. And I have to tell you guys, I think a lot of you guys would agree with this. I would watch a seminar, and then I would watch it again, and I would watch it again. And every time I watched it, I would pick stuff up. And, the first 1 or 2 times, sometimes the way Abraham speaks, it doesn't click to me right away. And I have to really almost examine it over and over and over again. And then eventually it just kind of clicks. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. I don't know why I was thrown off. But sometimes the way she talks, it kind of throws me for a curve sometimes. So I made this list of everything I wanted. At the time I was laid off from a position, I was collecting unemployment, and my unemployment was about to run out at the time. So number 1 on my list was to get a job in Hershey. I wanted to live in Hershey, which we were just talking about a little bit ago. And at the time, I was on this list. This temp service company kept calling me over and over and over again. So I finally called them back and I said, hey guys, listen, please take me off your list. I'm not interested in a temp job. I'm trying to get a full-time permanent job. And I said out of a lower breath, I'm like, besides, I'm looking at jobs in Hershey, and I really wasn't. It was in my subconscious mind because I was visualizing moving to Hershey so much. And she's like, well, we have a position in Camp Hill, which is 20 minutes from Hershey. So literally within a week and a half, I was moving to the Hershey area. I was literally living 10 minutes from Hershey. And that was probably the biggest manifest at the time. And then also on my list, moving was, I said, well, if we're going to have to rent again, I want to live in an apartment complex that had a swimming pool and a basketball court. I knew that I wouldn't be able to go out and buy a new house. Maybe I could have manifested it, who knows? But at the time I was visualizing, I wrote down a list of everything I wanted in the perfect apartment. If I was going to rent again, and it was a swimming pool, a basketball court, I was spoiling myself. I was like, it has to have a dishwasher, all of this stuff. And we were driving around because when I first moved there, I was just renting a room, and I was going back to see my, at the time, wife and kids on the weekends. And we had called a couple places, and it just seems like the rents were so high, or they weren't in the greatest location. One was above a laundromat, and it's I'm not going to want to live with kids on the second floor of a laundromat. You know what I mean? A 24-hour laundromat. So we found this apartment complex by mistake, by driving around, looking at other places. And it had a swimming pool, it had a basketball court. It was within our budget that we calculated what we could afford to pay. It was right around the amount that we were looking for. And again, it was I was like, oh my God, we found the place by mistake. We called for to do a tour, I guess you would say, the next day. And the lady's like, how many bedrooms are you looking for? And at the time we were 3 bedrooms, and she's like, oh, they fill up. They're really, really quick. Usually you have to be on a wait list. So the confident me, because by then I was really getting confident in law of attraction. I just got the job. I was like, no problem, no worries, call us first. And I said to my kids, within a week or two, they'll be calling us. The very next day, they called us and they said that somebody's moving out. They were in the eviction process and they decided to leave early out of their lease to get out of the eviction process. So literally within like maybe 10 days or so, we were moving into this apartment complex and I literally was visualizing. I mean, it had everything that I was looking for. The 3-bedroom swimming pool, basketball court, it was in a small town outside of Hershey. I want to specify that because when I was visualizing the apartment, okay, I had a list of everything. I wrote down on the list within driving distance from Hershey. In other words, I created my list, guys, but I also was a little bit realistic. You know what I mean? And I feel like when you do that, you believe it more, if that makes sense. It's great to have unlimited possibilities and dreams, but sometimes it's good to be a little bit realistic too. But I said, hey, it's going to be within driving distance from Hershey. And it was literally a 10-minute drive. So we moved, everything was great. And then, what a lot of people like hearing, this is probably really unique, is I use law of attraction to win contests. Has anybody tried that? Yeah, this is pretty interesting, guys. This will probably wake everyone up right now. And if you're asleep, you should probably wake up because everyone can benefit from this, I believe. So again, I had just moved to the Hershey area. I was a software trainer at the time. Now I'm a teacher. That's like a whole nother manifest. And our local Wendy's had this contest where you could win I think it was like a $40 or $50 Wendy's gift card. So I entered, at the time, by the way, I've always entered contests. I get excited. I'm like a little kid, basically. I have like a kiddish personality, which John probably knows already. Is John still logged in? I don't see him. But anyway, so I entered, and when I entered, I went home, made dinner and stuff like that. And I kept visualizing, taking my kids to the Wendy's, getting the gift card. And when I was visualizing it, it wasn't just me winning the gift card. I imagined sitting down at the table with my kids, what the food tasted like. Like when I was visualizing it, I felt like I was there. And about a week and a half or so later, they called me and they said, hey, this is Wendy's. The location was Harrisburg. They said, you're the winner? I believe it was $50 gift card. So I collected the $50 gift card. And of course I posted on my Facebook page. I'm like, oh my God, this is so awesome. I could win contests using law of attraction. And I got so many negative friends, okay? Even family members. They were like, beginner's luck. It was a local drawing, no big deal. So about 2 weeks after the Wendy's gift card, I entered another contest. It was for a local AutoZone. And at the time, I think it was a $25 gift card. I entered, visualized getting some stuff for my car. And then a week and a half later, I won it again. And honestly, over the last 4.5 to 5, probably 5 years now, I think I even told you that I've won about 125. It's between 125 and 130 sweepstakes and contests. Now, I do tell everyone, I don't win every contest, okay? Now, I don't know why I don't. My theory is maybe somebody else believed it more, or maybe they were more excited. But honestly, I win about between 1 in 4 and 1 in 5. And I always tell people, I'm fine with those odds. Like I really, and there a lot of them are smaller gift cards. I won a couple trips. I won a trip to St. Thomas, a trip to Vegas. And sometimes I'll enter a contest and I won't win, but I still get it in a different way. Now this will probably make more sense to you guys. So as you guys know, Abraham talks about to focus on the desire, like the end, and not really worry so much or focus on the details, just kind of trust the universe. Well, a lot of times I'll visualize, I'll get excited, I'll want something to happen, and like a contest, and I won't win. And what will happen is it will come in another form. So I'll give you an example. Now, this was like this was about 3 years ago. Applebee's was giving away a gift card. It was like a $50 gift card for Applebee's. And I love Applebee's, by the way. If you're in the UK, I don't know if they have Applebee's, but in the US, it's kind of like a hamburger restaurant joint, not like a low price one, but kind of like a medium price one. Anyway, so I remember entering to win this gift card at Applebee's, and I didn't win. And I was like, no biggie, you know, it's just a contest. That's another thing too. When you practice with contests, it's not like your dream job. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Like I always say to myself, no worries. You know what I mean? If I want Applebee's that much, I'll just buy it. It's really no big deal. But at the time I entered to win this $50 gift card at Applebee's, and they said online, they'll select the winner within 14 days. So at the end of the 14 days, I kept looking on their site, and then I read the fine print, and it was like, could take up to 30 days later for them to release the prize. Just because they draw the winner doesn't mean you're gonna get it at that time. So I'm waiting. Like a month goes by, and I said to myself, I probably didn't win it. No worry. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal to me. It's Applebee's, it's $50. And this is so funny. My sister, right? Because I at the time I lived like 2 hours from her. I was talking to her on the phone, and she says to me randomly, I'm going to give, I think she had some kind of bonus or something. Somehow she came into a little bit of money. And she says, hey, I'm going to go get you guys an Applebee's gift card for you and your family. And I said, get out of here. How much is it? And she's like, I was thinking around $50 because that should be enough for all of you guys. So I got to tell you, sometimes if you focus on your desire and don't worry so much about the path. Now, I will tell you, I focus on the path sometimes, and I kind of have to remind myself, you know, even though I do manifest with attention a lot, well, I believe a lot more. I think I've had a lot more luck with it, I guess I should say. But a lot of times I've learned over the years, don't focus on the path, because if you put enough energy into it, it's going to come one way or another. And things like that happen a lot. Like a lot of these contests, like I said, I won't win, but somehow it will come later on, you know, or my brother will be like, hey, you want to go to this? You want to do this? You want to do that? You know, let's go to the movies or something. And here I was trying to win tickets to the movies, or I will randomly say, like, maybe this was before COVID, of course. COVID kind of messed a lot of that stuff up right now. But I remember sometimes I'll be watching TV and I'll see a preview for a new movie, and I'll say to myself, or I'll say out loud, oh, cool, I really want to see that movie. And then all of a sudden I'll have a friend or a neighbor or a coworker say, hey, you want to check out that movie with me? You know, I have a coupon. Or back then, my coworker had like I think he paid for it. He paid so much a month, and he gave him so many free tickets, but he never went enough. I don't even know why he got it, but he used to he would treat me, or he would get like a coupon for like a free popcorn and a drink. Somehow it would come to me, even if it's not fully, it's like partly. And, you know, I try to recognize this stuff when it comes, even though indirectly. And what I do is I kind of thank the universe in a way. You know, it's great to thank. We all know that when you get a really big manifest, everyone, you know, it could be your dream job or losing so much weight, or your house or your new car. But I've learned to be more appreciated, show appreciation to even the smaller things. You know what I mean? Like if you're having a good day at work and your boss, you know, somebody compliments you, like that's a huge, you know, I always enjoy thanking the universe. And I probably honestly thank the universe multiple times a day. And I found too, that, you know, Abraham talks about being in a high vibration, being positive and happy and all that. But I've noticed sometimes you can't do that. You know, I'm kind of naturally hyper, and I am drinking coffee right now, by the way, to make sure my energy is up. So I am kind of cheating right now. But, you know, if you can't, we're all human. We're all having human experiences. Even the most happiest, positive person is going to have a down day. That's just, we're human. That's the way it works. Our energy is kind of up and down. So what I do is when I have like an off day, I kind of change my mindset into a appreciation mindset. And I feel like that puts me into a different alignment, a different vibration than being kind of run down and kind of like, it's Monday, you know, who wants to deal with, you know, another Monday. So anyway, so again, I discovered this like 5 years ago, and I moved and got my dream house at the time, my dream apartment. And then, like I said, I probably won about 8 or 9 contests. And, you know, I kept entering these contests and winning at the time. You know, back then, I focused on it a lot, like almost every day. Now I'm kind of at a different place. It's great to win contests, but it's not something that I focus on entirely anymore. I've kind of scaled back a little bit. But I remember somebody telling me, because remember, I moved for a position through a temp service, which was a software trainer, while our contract was coming to an end. So remember what I told you, that it's through a temp service? So I was talking to a friend of mine who was kind of in the law of attraction, but kind of not. One of those, you know, he supports me, but he's not fully invested. And he said to me, he's like, what are you going to do? Your contract is coming to an end. I'm like, I'm not quite sure. Haven't really thought a lot about it. It's probably too busy winning all these little contests. You know what I mean? And he's like, you're winning all these contests. You believe in law of attraction. You should have a really good job. And I'm like, you know what? You're probably right. I said, why am I using this ability to win $50 gift cards to Applebee's and Wendy's and stuff like that, when I could use this ability to have a really good job, like my dream job? So, you know, our contract was coming to an end, I think in about 4 weeks or so. Like, we had a month left of the contract. And at the time, they were saying to our team, there was a team of us, that they weren't going to renew a lot of people's contracts. So I'm pretty sure I would have stayed on if I wanted to. But I was thinking to myself, what would my dream job be? And I kind of made a list. And, you know, when you have kids and stuff like that, I was thinking, okay, well, I want something that I feel like I could share my passion with, something that I could easily take time off, or maybe have a lot of time off. Not a ton of time off, just time. You know, when you have kids and family, it's just nice to have you out, not be working 6 days a week anymore. And, you know, I had all the benefits I wanted. I wanted a pension plan and retirement plan and sick days. I mean, I was, honestly, guys, if you would have seen this list, you would think I was crazy. Because, again, at the time, I was working as a temp. You know, most temp services, you don't get any benefits. Like, your benefit is your paycheck, basically. So I had this huge list. Think of like a tablet with lines going across, and filling that entire sheet up. And I wanted flexible hours, you know, vacation, holidays, like all this stuff. And I'm looking at the list, and I sat down with my friend, and I'm like, oh man, like, I don't know if I'm crazy, but this is the list I came up with. And he's like, you know what, you have your master's degree, you can probably teach. I'm like, oh yeah, I probably could. Because I already had, by the way, my master's degree, my MBA in marketing. I just never used it to teach, by the way. I just kind of went into a different direction, I guess. So I made a vision board. On the vision board, I had all these images I found online, which I used Microsoft Word for, by the way. And just name dropping here, I guess. And I had all these images of colleges, computer labs, images of students, images of a teacher helping a student. And on this vision board, I would have text too that would say, we'll become a college instructor, we'll have holidays off, weekends off, we'll also, within the, I think it was number 1 or number 2 on my list, was a position that I felt more respected. Because when you work for a temp service, a lot of people, like the permanent employee people, you lose that respect. And I don't know why that is, because we do the same job. But so anyway, so I created this vision board and I was visualizing it every night. In my mind, I would imagine I'm working on a campus, I'm going around in a computer lab helping students, and my MBA is in a marketing focus. So I visualized teaching marketing because that's what I'm passionate about, and I took tons of marketing classes. So after I would say about 2 weeks later, I believed it. Like I was visualizing it so much that when I would visualize it, I felt like it already happened. In my mind, I was already a teacher. It's just a matter of applying for jobs at this point. So next, after 2 weeks, I started applying for colleges, and I probably applied for about 10 or 11 colleges. Now, remember, I had no college teaching experience. And one of the colleges called me. It was McCann School of Business, which is a 2-year technical school, by the way. And I had an interview for them, and they offered me 2 classes, okay? And I got hired as an adjunct, which basically means you're like a part-time teacher. And they were daytime classes, and I was like, oh man, I can't live off of this. You know, it's like $200 a week. I'm like, man, I finally manifested my dream job, and I can't even make a living off of it, right? So at the time, I went on their website, and I clicked on locations, and I realized they had a lot more campuses. So I wrote down all of their campuses where they were at in different cities. And I ended up I walked into another campus the next day, and I asked for the director of education. And I said, hey, I just got hired at, this other campus of yours. And I was wondering if you had any classes available. I said, I'm already in the system for a new hire. All we'd have to do is transfer the paperwork over. So I literally, with both campuses, I made enough money to teach. So I was there for about a year, teaching at both campuses part-time. And then eventually one of the campuses made me a full-time business instructor. And then a year after that, now I was happy. Again, it's a 2-year for-profit school. So the pay isn't the greatest, but it's still my dream job. Anyway, so about a year teaching there full time, I created a whole new vision board of teaching at a university, because I knew if I taught at a university, I would have more days off, more time off, more benefits, pension. They would offer me more that the school, the 2-year technical school can offer. So I did the same process, and I applied for, I think about 4 or 5 different universities, and one called me, and they offered me a job probably about a week after I applied. I had to do a teaching demonstration. I had, they had to get copies of my student transcripts. It's not easy getting into colleges. It's not like a typical job. So I was able to, you can manifest your dream job, and you can keep modifying it. Where I saw myself, first it was moving to Hershey, being a software trainer for the temp service, and then it was the 2-year school. And then I bumped it up to a university. Also, my vision board for the university, again, I had all my benefits. I had specific colleges that I wanted to interview with. And I think I had 3 different colleges on there. One of them is the one that called me for an interview, and they were the ones that hired me. So sometimes, guys, our vision, we may not get everything on our vision board, and I don't know why, but if I'm getting 80% of it, I'm happy. I'm content where I'm at. It's just like a contest, I may not win every contest, but I'm okay winning, 1 in 4 or 1 in 5 contests. Who's complaining about those odds? So, like I said, the past almost 5 years, I've won it's probably closer to 130 contests. And I know it's all through law of attraction. And most people will say to me, the non-Abraham believers will say, they'll say, oh, it's probably because you're entering so many, or, oh, it's probably because you're spending more time with it. And I'm like, yeah, that's part of it. But I was just as focused on winning. I used to buy lottery tickets all the time and enter contests. I mean, I was lucky if I won 1 or 2 a year. Now I just feel like I have better odds. And it's probably, as I win more, it's my belief. My belief is a lot higher than what it was before. Just like when I applied for the university, when they called me for an interview, I already knew I had the job. Like, I walked in with 100% confidence. As a matter of fact, I saw somebody I used to know. Well, I know him from high school, and he worked in the office. It wasn't like teaching or anything like that. And he's like, "Hey, are you here for the interview?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, well, good luck." I said, "You know what? Thank you. I appreciate it, but I don't really need the luck because I already know I have the position." Like, I had that much confidence going in. And you need that confidence, guys. I'm not saying you have to be 100%. No, I don't think anybody is 100% all the time. I know I'm not. But the more confident you are, the more you believe it. And for me, what works for me is if I really want something, I might be talking about it. If there's nobody around, I'll talk to my dog about it. From outsiders, they probably think I'm crazy. If they look through my window and see me talking to my dog about, I've had, when I was originally applying for my first teaching job, I acted like the dog was interviewing me. I'll just do little things like that. I know I'm kind of goofy sometimes, but the key really with anything is your belief. And I believe your energy and just feeling good about it. And I've had other things that it's kind of strange. When my energy is so high, okay, this is what throws some people off. When I visualize it and I believe it so much, it doesn't matter if I don't get it, because in my mind, I already have it. Because somebody was telling me the other day, they're like, I was talking about something else I was manifesting at the time, and they're like, "Well, why are you so excited? Like, it didn't even happen." Or I said, it could be 10 years from now, but I feel like I already have it. So I already feel blessed. That's like, you just have to know and expect the universe to make it happen. And I think that's where some people lose faith, is maybe they put deadlines on stuff. They might say, "Oh, well, I want to get," I hate to say this, but like women might say, "Oh, I want to marry him by, X amount of years, like within 2 years or be engaged." Or, "Oh, I want my dream job by next year, or by the end of this year." I say, don't put time limits on anything, just trust the process, trust the universe more. Because Abraham talks about the path of least resistance. So you just have to trust more. And even me, sometimes I have to remind myself that too. I have to be like, okay, just take a step back and just kind of wait it out. We already know it's coming. It's like, we already know Christmas is December 25th, right? We know that. So we just have to wait. We just have to wait till Christmas. Do you guys have any questions? I'm not quite sure what else to say at this point. I mean, I've done it. I've used law of attraction to win contests, to manifest multiple jobs, moving, getting into a better and healthier relationship, and getting out of a relationship that's toxic. You can manifest both. And I've talked to some people that will say like, well, because I went through a divorce, divorce can be kind of a negative vibe attached to it. A lot of people don't even like talking about it, but I say to people, if you're not happy, you're not happy. You know what I mean? Like Abraham taught me, the point of life is joy, really. So if you're not happy, you have to make changes. And sometimes you can't make those changes, especially if it's with somebody else. You just kind of move on from it. But I do believe you can manifest getting out of toxic relationships, or relationships that you're not happy anymore. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. And you can also manifest dates. I've done it for individual dates, because I've been divorced like 2 years now. And like I said, we were very unhappy at the time. People grow apart, or I guess is the best way I could describe it in a positive spin. And like I said, you can I'm trying to think of what else we got moving. My dream job. I manifested my car. I bought my car right after the divorce, which is actually the divorce wasn't even finalized. And the lawyer said, don't buy anything big. Don't go out and buy a car. And I ended up buying a car literally the week or two after we signed the divorce papers. And, divorces can be messy, I guess is a nice way of me saying it. It could get expensive. And at the time, I didn't have the greatest credit. Thank God I have great credit now. And I went to a couple dealerships looking for a specific car. And a lot of these dealerships were like, no, you don't have good credit. We need so much down. And I was like, I remember talking to this one sales rep. I said, do I? And he's like, what are you talking about? I said, if I don't get approved here, I'm just going to go to your competition. It's really no big deal to me. It's all a numbers game. At that point, I had a lot of confidence in law of attraction, by the way. And I ended up getting a car. I went to 4 different dealerships. The 4th dealership works with multiple banks, and they were able to get me into a car that I wanted, which was at the time, 2017 Chevy Cruze. So you can do anything. I always tell people, if you want that dream house, go for it. Don't let people try to talk you out of it. If I would have when I went to the first car dealership and they tell me, oh, your credit's too low, or no, you're going through a divorce, your income is up and down right now, to wait a year or two, I say, forget that guy. What does he know? These people don't know everything. It's just like when you go to a doctor and you kind of don't feel right and something's going on, but the doctor's like, oh, we don't see anything. Go with your gut. Go with your focus. Everything's like that. Your dream job is out there. Like I said, when I applied for the university, or even the first time when I applied for all these different schools, my friend was telling me, wow, you applied for, I think it was 16 or 17 schools. This was the first time. He's like, wow, you're applying for a lot of schools. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that means you got rejected 16 times. And I said, or did I get hired one time? A lot of it's how your mindset is. I read the founder of KFC got over 1,000 no's. Did you guys ever hear about this story? He literally got over 1,000 no's before he got one yes. And now we wouldn't have KFC. And I love KFC, by the way. So, and again, it's all about our beliefs. It's our mindset, which is basically what half of law of attraction is. Your belief, your energy, feeling excited before you actually get it. And then just trust the process. Just wait it out.
Steve, I have a question or a comment. Can I ask? Okay, cool. I've got one. I have a comment, and what you just said, the last thing you just said about appreciated or expected or whatever, getting that feeling. Something you really. By the way, you're talking about your manifestation makes all the things that I'm sure that we all have learned from Abraham, playing around with Abraham. Your personal experiences have highlighted, our own experiences and made us go back and appreciate all the things that we've manifested. So I think I'm feeling the power of all of that for all of us, that you're reminding us of, especially the little things. We can think about the big things. We've manifested so many things. Another one thing that you said that really was kind of a newish thing for me. You talked about when you create the manifestation on your board, or you have this in there, and people are asking, well, why are you so happy? Because it's not even here yet. And you said you're already feeling like you have it. So my thought was, how cool is it to be able to extend the period of time and the joy and the feeling of manifesting something for a longer period of time, even way before it even actually comes. You've already extended. You want a manifestation because you believe that it's going to make you feel good, and you don't even wait until before the manifestation before you feel good. So that actually extends the period of time that you can feel the feeling that you want. And that's really awesome. It's almost like I'm rooting for you not to get it to manifestation because, it's like, yeah, this is like anticipating Christmas and stuff like that. It's like Christmas Day you mentioned. It's like in anticipation of Christmas is this special stuff, this feeling, this joy, this whatever excitement. I know I'm going to get this bike or I'm going to whatever. Yeah. And then you get the bike and you ride your bike for a day and then you're looking for a train or something. So it's really cool. Your discussion has really brought that to me. And I do know that Alicia, you unmuted. I think you might have had a question before, maybe comment. And anybody else? So yeah, go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say also to Steve, what he's describing is exactly what Abraham is asking us to do, to already feel like you have it. And you're describing it in a way that makes so much more, gives me so much more clarity around that. So I'm just sitting here loving all that part. And then I have a question. I'm at a point in my life where I may need to manifest a different living arrangement, but I don't know what I want it to be yet. So give me your thoughts about that. What would you like put out on your vision board or your list?
So you have to move, but you're not 100% sure what you're looking for.
Yeah. What am I looking for? Well, I can list all those things easier because I don't want to be in charge of the maintenance and I don't want to shovel snow anymore. Well, I kind of like to shovel snow though. I live in Montana. I just know that my partner is going to need one level and we don't have that. So I think that's why I don't have a real picture yet, because I'm not really ready, but I can see that in the next few years, something's going to shift. So just wondered about anybody's thoughts about, what does that look like for manifesting?
Well, I mean, me personally, I would create a list just like what I did, exactly what you're looking for, or maybe over the next couple months or even years, I guess, depending on when you're doing it. As the months and years go on, I think you'll be more detailed. But also Abraham talks about, and I wish I knew which one it was, because I've seen like hundreds of the workshops at this point, is they talk about like, if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, the universe already knows. Have you guys heard this?
The universe knows the essence, always knows the essence of what you want.
So we always get, in the end, what we're seeking anyway, even if we don't realize it.
Thank you. Yeah.
But to me, maybe it's the teacher in me, the nerd guy. I would probably create the list. But also I feel like you're going to get whatever, maybe you're not going to realize it now, but maybe when it happens, you're going to be like, oh yeah, it's great that it has a dishwasher, or, oh great, I'm glad it's smaller. Maybe it'll keep the heat bill down in the winter and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would add to, I certainly concur with everything that's been said. And I think, Sue, as you would make your list, even though you don't know all of the aspects, you do know some aspects of that you would, it sounds like, everything on one floor and having the maintenance taken care of. Those are really solid, clear desires that you would have. And so you could put down everything that you're sure of. And I know you don't know exactly where even the location would be. So you can just leave that vague for now. And, but then as you do keep filling in what, oh yeah, I would really like blah, 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 then it will just you will just keep adding the specifics and it'll just get clearer and clearer and clearer. Yeah.
Yeah. It's prevented me from doing some vision board kinds of things because I think, well, I don't know what I want yet. But so that's really helpful. I wanted to throw in that Dory has a great method of speaking to what you were saying about a divorce. She would call that de-manifesting.
Hmm.
And I just think that's kind of a fun term to think of when you need to let go of something. De-manifest it. You manifested it somehow in the first place, so let it go.
Dory's term of demanifestation is also a case of if you go back into the 22 processes, decluttering for clarity, where Dory has said demanifestation, I've seen it, and it's a case of a lot of decluttering. I'm shutting up.
Steve, when you're making a list, I'm taking a wild guess that you do not do what many people do. And I've been to places where people suggest this, that you write a line in the middle of the paper and you write over here what you do want and you write over here what you don't want. You don't want to do that, right?
No,
the
I would make a list of what you do want. Forget about the
There
ones
you
that
go.
you don't want.
So
Because we
when you
all, from
make,
my
yeah,
understanding, we always get it. If we're writing down stuff we don't want, we're also going to get that.
so be careful when you make your list. After you make your list, take a look at it. And if you've stated something, and sometimes it's a common thing to do, is I have, if you stated something that I want to not have this, then just rewrite that one. Just rewrite it with different words. What I do want, okay? So,
It's kind of like,
Lisa, I know you. Go ahead.
it's kind of like looking at a hole while you're riding a bike. You're going to ride your bike into that hole.
Exactly.
Good
Yeah,
analogy.
Just don't even put any energy into that direction.
Yeah, and two things I wanted to add really quick,
Thank
guys,
you.
if that's okay. One is if I'm not in a suit, when I teach on campus, we have to dress up. I have a lot of clothes that say like champion on it, and I have ones that say victory, and I have ones that say happiness. I'm not telling everyone that they have to dress with positive words on it, but to me, I tried. I have half my closet's full of champion clothes that say happiness, success. I call them my vibration clothes, my vibrational clothes, or my happiness clothes. And something as even like wearing a champion sweatshirt, just having it on to me sends a message to the universe.
It's not told you about the ones that said he's always a winner or is always winning.
That's
I
a
have
very
a shirt.
good
I
idea.
have a couple of shirts that say "All I do is win" too. I should have wore that one maybe.
Can I ask a question, please?
No, yeah.
All right. Okay. First of all, everything you said was very, very inspiring and helpful. So thank you so much. Really very good. And it's amazing because a few of the things you said right from the beginning, a few of them were like synchronicities for me because like different things that came up. You mentioned about The Secret, and I had just posted today and last night telling people whoever hasn't seen the movie The Secret, here's the thing. I just posted about the movie The Secret, which I mean I saw it 20 years ago, whatever, 14 years ago, but and a couple of other things you mentioned about being unemployed currently and about having debt, which I never did before, and you talking about those two things. Any tips about the clearing the debt or gaining the abundance back?
Yeah. Remember, we can manifest anything. You can, I don't know how much that you have. At the time, what we did was we consolidate our credit cards at the time and then had a monthly payment, and then we would make a double or triple payment. I mean, for manifesting, for us, it was getting out of debt and then having more income, having lower expenses. We went from a house to an apartment, and to most people that might be something negative, but we at the time we lived in a house that was kind of like a starter home. It needed a lot of work and there was a lot of expenses going on, and we just reached a point back then where we just couldn't afford it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And, to some people, it might have been like a depressing moment. Okay. Can you imagine you're unemployed, you're going to lose your house, you have all this debt, and then you meet somebody like me that's like, woohoo, we're moving and we're going to do this. We're going to have a swimming pool and a basketball court.
Right.
I remember telling my kids, you know, that we're going to move. Like it was at the time I was married. It was my wife and I. My wife's like telling the kids, oh, we're going to move. And I'm sorry. And and I said I remember telling my kids, isn't it awesome? You guys are going to have a basketball, a swimming pool. It's an apartment complex. And then I was telling my wife, they shovel the snow, they mow the grass. Like to me,
Right.
And she started looking at it differently. You know, I think honestly, when it comes to life, even if we kind of pause on the whole law of attraction thing, just thinking of the positive sides makes a huge difference.
Right. Very good.
Another person could have said, oh man, you know, we're losing our house. We have all this, we're forced to move. Not me. At that point, I trusted the universe. I was like, you know what? This is all good. This is all going to work out.
Did it get stuck?
I remember telling the first thing we're gonna do is get some swimming trunks so we can go swimming.
Yeah.
Like that was my priority. Let's get a basketball. Let's go play some, you know, have a cookout, you know, throw some hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. Like to me, it was a blessing. I was already excited.
Right, fantastic. And one other thing, how long do you visualize, and do you have like a morning and a nighttime routine?
So what I do is I spend about I would say closer to 10 minutes, between 5 and 10 minutes in the morning and about 10 minutes at night. And I will do multiple things, by the way. I don't know how you guys do it, but it's almost like a movie in my mind. So I might spend a couple minutes, you know, manifesting, you know, this is kind of cool. I usually don't mention this to people, but I've gotten teacher awards at both colleges I worked at.
Oh, wow.
And it was a manifest. I literally visualized me getting an award for being a great instructor, a great professor. And I tell people all the time, they have great professors. They have great teachers there. I'm not the greatest instructor. You know what I mean? I mean, granted, I will support a student 100%. I'm there for them. I have their back. But a lot of times I'll say, you know, when you think about manifesting, don't think that you have to be the best, just like an award. You can still get it. You just have to change your mindset into believe you're going to get it.
Very good. Thank you so much. Very, very good. Inspiring.
I'd like to ask, do you also meditate, Stephen, along with your visualization? Does that kind of go hand in hand, or how are you with the meditation type thing?
Well, basically when I visualize, I don't know if this is considered meditation or not. First of all, it's in bed. Okay, that's why it's at night and in the morning. Listen, when you work and you have kids and a dog, sometimes this is the best time. And then, you know, you work and stuff like that. To me, it was the best time. When I'm in bed, the room is quiet. I might, you know, have my TV off, or like, I don't know if you can really see this in the background, but I have a YouTube channel playing right now and it's waterfalls. It's very relaxing. Again, you can go on YouTube and find tons of free stuff. But what I do is between, like I said, about 5 to 10 minutes in the morning, at night, I'll close my eyes. And again, I will visualize what I want with excitement. And it could be multiple things. It might just be one thing. But I will do it over and over and over again. Now, I will tell you, when I manifested my first teaching job, it was almost like it wasn't the same every time. For example, like in the morning, I might visualize maybe getting hired, okay? At night, I'm visualizing it's my first day of class or work, and I'm helping students, I'm going over a lesson. So they're all the same manifests, but it's almost like a movie. In my mind, I'm seeing little parts of it, just like the Wendy's gift card, okay? When I was visualizing it, was them calling me, saying I won. Another one was me sitting down with my family eating Wendy's. Another one was leaving Wendy's. So it's almost like a movie in my mind. You know, I've talked to some other law of attraction believers, if we want to call them believers, and they'll say, I get bored, you know, of visualizing. And I'll be like, well, what are you visualizing? Because to me, it's exciting. And they're like, well, you know, me getting my job or whatever. And I'll say, like, modify it. You're not limited to just the HR telling you got the job, you know? Even when I was visualizing it, I remember, first of all, me getting hired from the HR manager. I would visualize driving my car to the campus. I would visualize another one, walking around the campus, saying hi to students. So it was literally I probably had 10 different scenes in my mind. And you can do this with anything, guys. If it's a person that wants to lose weight or a person that wants to gain maybe like a relationship, we'll say, they can visualize going on dates, maybe spending holidays together, going out to dinner, you know, just being yourself, cuddling on the couch, you know, whatever to you is a happy, positive relationship. Don't limit yourself just to one thought, because you know, I don't know if it's my ADHD, which I believe I have, by the way, because my mind's kind of all over the place, but it doesn't have to be the same vision. Don't get bored of your visions, because that's when you start getting bored. I would be like, oh my God, like now I'm losing my focus on it. I need to go back to the drawing board and see how I can spice it up a little bit.
Does everybody feel, I just got to do this. Steve, does everybody feel, Steve, and can you visualize for yourself envisioning what you want to manifest, and think, what would Steve do? What would Steve think? and really, and use this, because especially now that this is fresh, this is a wonderful time for the next week to take some of Steve's stuff and channel him. Okay, just channel Steve as you're creating your own list and creating your manifestation. And I want to present something else to you. Be aware of things like, remember that list I was telling you about when you're writing your list, what I do want and what I don't want? Keep that in mind when you're using your mind and visualizing in your mind the same rules, okay, the same format. That, what would Steve be thinking right now? Okay. And we have habits as humans to say, well, I would like to have a $10,000 something, a bonus. And then that feels good. And then we start saying, well, what's the likelihood? Or what would not be, you know, what, all those things that get in the way. So as you're visualizing, and Steve obviously has perfected this. He did it really hard, really fast. He decided how he wanted to do it. He wrote it with a list, and his writing it down on that list, I'm sure, helped him create the habits that he does when he's doing it in his mind in the morning and at night. Because at morning and at night, could you imagine Steve? Just think about what Steve's thinking. I could tell, you could just by hearing, he doesn't think about the what ifs, nots, and how is this going to happen and all of that stuff. That is a habit that we all do. So I'm going to do that myself. I'm going to next week or two, while Steve's this vibration and energy and sight that I have right now that Steve's opened up in me, I'm going to think about fine tuning more that time when I'm thinking about envisioning and what I'm going to be manifesting, and think what kind of thoughts would Steve have on this subject. So use that. Go ahead, Steve. I'm loving this.
Yeah. So as a matter of fact, this is kind of funny, but I think it was about 2 years ago or so when I manifested the car that I wanted. I posted on the Abraham Fun page. I started putting Mr. Manifest, so that way it would draw more attention to me. I don't know if you guys started seeing my posts back then, but on the one post I had an image of the car, and I put what I did about visualizing it, driving it around, feeling proud of it, listening to satellite radio, you know, little details like that. And towards the bottom, I said, if anybody in this group wants to interview me, I'm open. And I never got a reply. But here we are, guys. almost 2 years later. So this right here that we're in was manifested from 2 years ago. Does anybody remember that post, John? Do you? About the car?
Of course, I've manifested this because I'm going to quickly put this out. When Karen mentioned she had got you to talk, I actually did say, oh my, OMG or OMS, use whatever term. I said, OMS, you've got Scott. You know, yeah, of course, you can't do, you know, I'm putting the verbal here because I couldn't put that on the typing, but that's what I thought for. She's got Scott. Of course, I've always wanted to see you, talk to you, Scott. So, hey, I'm part of the manifestation here as well. We are complete.
I was going to say that, Jonathan. That's perfect because how does it feel to everybody to be a part of Steve's manifestation? The manifester manifested you here today.
No, he's part of
How
my
does that make you?
manifestation.
Yeah,
And it's
thank
yours
you.
too, that's right.
This is
Thanks,
my
Chris.
first time here, so.
Me
Thank
too.
you. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ah,
And I want to make sure everybody heard what did you say, Lisa?
I said, no, he's part of my manifestation.
Right. I want to make sure everybody got that one. That was cool. Yeah.
Guys, feel free. I mean, you guys can add me to Facebook if you want. You know, I'm sure I don't know if you probably have my name in the profile description, right? But you're welcome to add me as a friend. It's all good.
So I've got a question, a comment. I don't know. I want some suggestions because I've been writing some notes, especially about doing vision boards. I have got one vision board only because that's the thing that I'm actually focusing on the most. There's all lots of little things that I want to happen, but that's the main one, and that is I work in IT, but I want to have a bed and breakfast. And this has been going on for many years, and many properties that I've looked at have fallen through. And some probably like in the middle of last year on Instagram, I came across a bed and breakfast in England, and there was this beautiful old building, and I just thought, oh my goodness, wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to have that? And I thought, well, it's never going to happen in Australia because those buildings don't even exist. And sure enough, I found one last year, and I was looking at it and thinking that it was completely unaffordable. And if I had to move there, I would have to be able to work from home because it's like 3 hours from home. And then COVID hit, and I'm working from home till forever, pretty much. I don't know when if ever going to go back into the office. And so I was ready to put in an offer, and I did, and the offer was way below what the asking price was, but it was what I could afford. It was rejected. I was thinking, oh, how can I make this happen? I had dreams of being in the house and hugging the house and going, oh, please make it happen. You house need to help me with this because you are mine. And then the whole time I'm talking about this house being mine, because it's got absolutely everything that I want. It's got like fruit trees. It's got like a beautiful veggie garden. It's got a space where it could be turned into a little cafe and run classes and all the things that I want to do. So then I was speaking to my sister, and my sister offered to lend me $15,000 to put a higher offer. It's like, yay, let's do that. Before I even got to put the higher offer, I got a notification saying that the owner had decided to put the price up by $75,000, making it completely out of my price. And so when I'm like here, like convinced that this is my house, I'm convinced this is my house. This is my house. I can see myself living in it. It's just so perfect. And then all this kind of contrast gets being thrown in my way, telling me, no, it's not, move on. And so like, do I put more specifics into my vision board, or do I just start looking at other things, or just ignore what everyone else is saying to me that it's crazy and it's never gonna happen?
Always ignore that.
Yeah. Well, first of all, Abraham says contrast can be good. It expands what we want. It expands our desires. So contrast is not bad. You know, if I didn't, if I wasn't unemployed at the time, I would have never applied for the job in Hershey, right? So I had contrast. I mean, I was losing a house. I was unemployed. If I had employment or if I had a good house or whatever, I would have never moved. So part of it is trusting the process. I don't get everything I want through my intentional desires, I guess is the proper way of saying it. But when it doesn't happen, I understand as humans, we get disappointed because we think, oh man, this isn't it. But for me, you just have to trust that something better is lining up. So you could try two different things. One would be go back to the drawing board. You could maybe decide, maybe be more detailed, more specific. The other thing would be to trust the universe. Maybe there's something else that's going to come up in the next 6 months. With COVID, everything's a mess, right? Everything is kind of up and down. I mean, you can't, right now, where I live, the gyms are closed, the movie theaters are closed, and all this different stuff. So we are living in more unique times right now, but that's not stopping me. That is not stopping me from my dreams. So like I said, I would either go back to the drawing board, or you can just trust that the universe is going to pick the path of least resistance. And, just because that didn't happen, it doesn't mean you're going to get something that's closer to it, or maybe something that's going to be within your budget, and maybe you'll see the benefit of it. But right now you can't because of where your mindset is right today. Does that help?
Yep. Thank
Can I
you.
say, isn't it also that they say sometimes if the thing that you thought you wanted like falls through, it's because there's something better, like a better fit for you. Maybe you didn't know all the things, like maybe there was something bad with that house, or
Right.
Maybe it's got bad plumbing or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
and then like
the roof needs replaced. Who the heck knows?
or the neighbors are tough or something. But and Stephen, what you just said, but what was the other thing you said about? I think this is great. The thing about because of COVID in 2020 and everything is so kind of upside down that maybe there's somebody that's willing to give Natalia, an even better deal on a house, or an even bigger house at a better price, because right now everything is, people are probably doing things differently. So maybe they'll sell things cheaper than they would have, when things were fine. Maybe they just want to get out of a house and, almost give it away for practically nothing or something,
Yeah. And I will mention, I have a friend that's like Mr. Confident. He has a lot more confidence than me, by the way. He doesn't believe in law of attraction, even though I know he follows the principles, but that's fine. He doesn't want to label. I'm sure we all know somebody like that.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to him, like when I'm around him, it's always like, if we have a business idea or marketing idea, he's like, yeah, let's do it. Or let's do this. You know what I mean? There is nothing that's going to stop him. And he's a very, I don't want to say wealthy, but he's a very well-off person. Now, I have another friend who has a lower paying job, and he complains a lot, and he's always saying how, oh my God, I had the worst day ever, and I fought with my boss, and I did this, and I did that. And you can tell a huge difference between somebody that has a lot of confidence and knows what he wants and gets it, or she, excuse me, than somebody that is in a lower vibration of thinking that the universe is out to get them. They're put on this. They don't know why they're living sometimes. So our vibration, our energy makes a huge difference too. And who knows, maybe that place will lower their price. Maybe nobody will want to pay the extra $75,000. Maybe it's going to sit on the market for 4 months, and then they decide, you know what? Maybe we will look at these lower offers. I mean, who knows? We can't tell the future. But like I said, you just kind of have to have faith sometimes, in really all the time, I guess, in what's going to happen.
There's a gift in there somewhere, and you may not know what it is right now, but you'll see it.
You'll see it eventually.
You'll see the gift. That's what I just know always with every cell in my body, that I might not know what the gift is, but there's always a gift.
Maybe it has COVID. You know what I mean? Sorry, bad COVID joke.
And I like what somebody mentioned, the word essence. I don't know if it was Krsna or who said that, but it's if you are willing to go really general with your desire while holding to it intently, the universe can bring you maybe not the exact thing, but it can bring you the essence of what you're wanting in another form that will please you every bit as much, if not more. Like we were saying, it can be even better. I love that word essence. If you're willing to bring me the essence of it, Abraham, maybe it's not in the country I think or the exact location, but I just want the essence. I want the feeling of it. And I just love that word.
I was going to say too, like, were you guys ever in like a bad relationship, or you had you thought the person was the one, and then it didn't work out, and you were like, I don't know why this didn't work out. We were so perfect together. And then like 6 months later, a year later, you meet somebody like that's 10 times better. And you're like, man, am I glad that relationship didn't work out. It's the same idea, guys. It doesn't matter if if you didn't get the job, the apartment building, you're buying into a business. It's the same thing. I bet you 6 months later, you're going to know why it didn't happen, if it didn't happen the way you thought it would. Okay. Any other questions? Come on, it's only 9 o'clock.
I want to mention one other synchronicity that was interesting, that before this call, I had tagged a couple of people on a post that was about somebody winning scratch off tickets and lottery tickets. And I never so I was talking about lottery tickets. I didn't know you were going to be talking about the lottery tickets and everything. And that was very inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt and everything. Steve told you about some of the bigger manifests, about his dream job and everything. He hasn't had the thing to say. On a regular basis, he manifests a free cup of coffee. He has manifested going into work and finding free food, and he has manifested tickets to baseball games. He has got such a big list of general things he has manifested and everything just through his belief, but with also a case of the belief of, if it doesn't happen, hey, so what? With that, if it doesn't happen, hey, so what? Dude, he's manifested all these different things. He's told you about the trips and everything. He just didn't tell you about the free food, free pizzas, free muffins, free cups of coffee, etc., so on and so forth.
Very good. Very good. And Steve, do you not have that much doubt and stuff? Like, it sounds like you don't have that much doubt.
Not as much as most people as of right now. And it's because what Jonathan's saying. So I talked about this in my own group, which is like a small, like 2,000 group, is start to build your confidence in the bigger manifests. Try smaller manifests. So what I've talked about before, which is what Jonathan's talking about, something so small that if you don't get it, it's not going to kill you. Right. So I've manifested a free meal, free coffee, where I'll say to myself, and I know you're not supposed to put a time limit on it, but I'll say to myself within a week, I'll give it multiple days, that somebody will offer me a free meal or a free coffee, and I'll write it down and I'll keep saying it to myself until I believe it. And usually it happens. Maybe a coworker will say, hey, let's go get a coffee. I want to talk to you about some stuff that's going on. Or it's just something. And sometimes I don't even realize it happened because it's so small. I'll kind of forget about it.
Right.
You say to yourself, I want this to happen. A week or two later, it happens. And you're like, oh, yeah, I guess I did say I wanted it to happen. So to build everyone's confidence or your belief, and this is probably everyone in your Abraham Fund group, start with the smaller manifests, something that's more believable, because what that will do is that will build up your belief and you'll start trusting the process more. By saying to yourself, I want my dream job or I want a new car. Not that it's not going to happen, but you need to build up your belief. And so it's easier to believe in the bigger items. Because I won so many contests, 100, 125 in some contests in 5 years, it's easier for me to believe when I enter a small contest, I already know I'm going to win before I even enter.
Right.
But
Excellent.
the key is to build up your belief. Maybe in your Abraham Fund group, maybe you'd want to do something like have some kind of contest or have everyone visualize getting a free coffee this week or having a free lunch offered. And slowly that'll build up everyone's belief again back to where it was when you were actually manifesting bigger items. Because I think a lot of times, and I don't want to say it's because of COVID, but I think a lot of it because so much has changed since March 2020 for most of us. I feel like we're at our homes more. We're not going out. We're not around friends and family. Maybe that lowered our vibes or maybe influenced our energy and our beliefs. So maybe going back and doing smaller ones at first will build that up to where it was. And what'd you say, Jonathan? You were going to buy coffee for everyone. Holy cow. See that? It already manifested.
Yeah. I'll buy virtual coffee.
You've got a PayPal account. I'll throw a couple of dollars to a PayPal account each so you can buy yourself a coffee. Take me up on it.
See
Anybody in the group who knows me, go looking for me. I've got a PayPal account. We'll go to PayPal account, your PayPal and everything. I'll throw you a couple of dollars so you can go to a Starbucks and get a free coffee. And if you want to take it as a joke or take it as serious and everything, that is up to you. If I do get a message or you promise me a couple of dollars for a free coffee on PayPal, and you give your PayPal details for sending you a couple of dollars for getting a coffee, I will do.
Oh, that's sweet.
And you know something? I think I'm only going to get about 3 people do it, if anybody.
That word, Steve.
That was you, Scott.
Thank you, John.
That word, every time Steve uses the word confidence, where is that on the vibrational scale? I mean, I know the answer. I'm asking everybody to think about the word confidence. That word confidence, when he has a desire, he creates it, and he's very confident. He is confident. And just think about the level on the vibrational scale is level 4, which is my favorite number. 4 is my favorite vibration. It's expectation. So you've heard Abraham recently talk about expectation a lot. So you can, confidence, expectation is the same level. And by the way, when you have a desire and you're in that level, at least of expectation or confidence, that's when you're able to extend that feeling of, I know I'm going to get it. That's what that level means. That's where you can extend the actual manifestation in feeling, which is extending it even however long it takes to actually see the physical thing show up. And that's the level that you want to get you on that particular subject. Confidence, expectation. Confidence, I like that word confidence. And if that sticks with you right, better, that's really nice, because we all know that word, confidence. And you're very confident. And it feels good when you're confident about something, when you feel good about like going out and doing something that you know what you're doing. Confidence is a really good feeling. And so anyway, thank you for that new word, confidence, for that word, expectation, Steve.
Yeah, that's good confidence. Yeah.
Also, I wanted to add really quick, for me, the law of attraction, the best gift. I mean, yeah, it's great to win contests and have a nice car and stuff like that in your dream job. The best, though, is just feeling happy again, being joyful. You know, there's people that are literally making tens of millions of dollars. You know, maybe they're actors in movies, and unfortunately, they're ending their lives, right? We've all seen those actors that are, you know, they're killing themselves, unfortunately, or, you know, it doesn't, we've seen CEOs that they just end their life. So to me, with law of attraction, it's not, the greatest gift is not having that car that you want or the money you want or the house. It's just being happy again. And to me, the key to life is really happiness. Yeah, it's great to have your dream car. It's great to have the house that you have a dog and everything else. But the key really is happiness. And, you know, me personally, I could be in jail. I could be a homeless person. I'm probably going to be the happiest homeless person you'll ever meet because I just feel blessed and happy. You know, I could have nothing and I'm probably going to be thankful that I have oxygen to breathe and, you know, that I have a cardboard box to live in at the time. So, you know, to me, law of attraction and Abraham, the biggest gift is just realizing, you know, when you're unhappy for years and all of a sudden you slowly become yourself and happy again, it's like a gift. It's a gift from the universe. And so many people are, you know, even before COVID, they're so unhappy with their lives. And it's really sad. You know, focus on happiness and everything will kind of, you know, line itself up the way it should.
Can we go a quick back step to something said a while ago? Karen was asking you, oh, yeah, give us that blooming jokey no nod in case, you know, I've seen it. But Karen was asking you about meditation and everything. However, what Scott does with his visualization, there are many teachers who would say it is a form of meditation, a form of focusing his thoughts and everything. And I'm sure if something like jumped in and tapped him on the shoulder, hey, put this in there, he wouldn't say no. He'll say, yeah, I'll take that input.
Yeah, like I'm not sitting down and meditating like some people do, but I'm in my bed visualizing with my eyes closed, getting excited about my desires. Also, I thank the universe. I put my mind in like an appreciation mind a couple times a day. Now, let me tell you what that means. What to me is it puts me in a higher alignment. You know, if you're having like Thanksgiving, okay, are you ever unhappy on Thanksgiving? Probably not, before COVID, of course. Or are you ever like unhappy on a holiday? You're with your family, you're with your friends. You're in this state of appreciation. So even though I don't like sit down and meditate like some people do, I'm visualizing, I'm closing my eyes, I'm getting excited about what I want to desire, but also multiple times a day, through the day, I'm basically thanking the universe. So in a way, that's probably a form of meditation, I guess, but it's only for a couple seconds.
Abraham 101. We would rather you be in a state of appreciation than a state of meditation.
I was going to cite that same quote. And, you know, and they point out that Abraham does that when we stop thought in meditation, we stop negative thought. And so meditation is a great tool to use, like when you've kind of got some negative momentum going in that instance. But if you're in a place of envisioning joyful events and feeling joyful, that's pretty hard to top. And I think Jonathan just hit the nail on the head with that quote from Abraham. They would rather see us appreciative or imagining something wonderful and feeling excited than stopping thought. Although stopping thought is a very great skill to have when you're going a little towards the downside, maybe. But yeah.
However, and this is me personally, you can decide to take your 15, 20 minutes off, however amount of meditation to still the mind, clear the mind. And before you know it, in meditation, you're just there and you end up finding yourself in a state of appreciation that you can say, I appreciate everything and anything. You know, when people say, well, how can you appreciate everything and anything? It's like, appreciate contrast for what it tells you what you really do desire.
Yeah, also just being more thankful even to people that you work with and your family, you know, it multiplies. Did somebody ever like thank you for something that kind of took you off guard? Like you weren't expecting it. And then in a way, it kind of raised your vibration. You're like, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you thanking me. And then down maybe later on, you're thanking somebody else. It's almost like, did you ever go, people do this at Dunkin' Donuts all the time in the US, where they'll say like somebody in front of them bought their drink, like their coffee or whatever. And then they'll say like, then it started a chain reaction. Everyone's buying each other's. It's the same idea. So you don't have to, like, I'm a lot of times I'm in this thankful appreciation, but also I'm very thankful. Like I said, I teach, and I probably thank my students 10 times more than any other teacher. You know, not just at the beginning, not just the first day of the semester and the last day of the semester, but multiple times. I'll thank them for working hard. I'll thank them for, you know, I'll find out what the average test grade is, and I'll thank them for working so hard. And I feel like you build this energy of thankfulness, and I feel like it's multiplied, you know, because then they're more thankful wherever they go, back home or, you know, in their lives.
Mark, can you hear me, Mark?
This Mark or
Yeah, you, Mark.
Yep. The other cool Mark.
Not yet.
You got two very cool Marks here. Which one do you want?
Mr. Toms.
Okay.
Scott, not yet. I think he has definitely earned an ABC love game, hasn't he, tonight? You know what I'm on about.
Yeah, after we stop the recording, we'll do, or maybe, we'll do that for sure.
You'll be surprised, Scott, but
I think that would be cool to do during the recording. Actually, I love that idea, Jonathan. During the recording. So you want to do that now?
Or shall we wait a bit?
What do you think? You want to play the ABC appreciation game? See, if there's anybody that we can appreciate and think of, okay, the rules of the appreciation game basically is we start with the letter A, and anybody that I like, I don't know, my version, I like the version that anybody, what we do is we start with the letter A. Jonathan can say A, and then think of a word that starts with A that you would like to express to Steve, because he's the receiver of our appreciation. So we're going to go from A to Z. So as we go, anything that comes out to you, just yell it out, okay? Can we do that, Jonathan? That way, just free for all? Because I think Steve deserves way more than just one for each person. So
Okay.
as we go, you'll catch on, okay? Just everybody unmute and be ready to come out with any kind of words that comes out. You don't have to say, you know, if something doesn't come to you, by the way, that's fine. Or somebody chooses your word, that's fine. But okay, Jonathan, or where we go ahead and start.
I'll start as always. Stephen, you are amazing.
Oh.
Anybody else? A word.
Articulate.
Articulate. Yeah, awe-inspiring. I love that, Sue. Articulate, very much so.
Right. Jonathan, you
Abundantly
decide when we
blessed.
change letters. Yeah.
Oh, B.
Okay. B?
Blissful, bodacious.
I got to add these to my resume here.
There you go.
Anybody else with a B?
Beautiful.
Bountiful.
Mm.
I can't think of a B.
Blissful.
Yeah, they say
Brilliant.
All right. C? I'll do it. C.
Confident.
Anybody? Huh, that's his word.
Creative. Consciousness.
Charismatic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Creative.
Mm-mm-mm.
I really mean this. Cool.
Yeah. Very good.
Cheeky.
Tell my friends that. Tell my family that.
Connected.
Classy.
D.
Delightful.
Oh,
Diligent.
good.
One of you girls said dreamy. Come on.
Don't get this the wrong way, Steve. But this is one of Abraham's favorites. Delicious.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go. That's good.
Determined.
My
Let's
favorite
keep it
D word
PG,
at this
okay? We gotta keep it PG.
moment. My favorite D word at this moment.
Yeah, we don't want to
Divergent.
get kicked off of Facebook Live.
Right.
Where we at? E?
Expert.
Exciting.
Yeah. Energetic, exciting.
Enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic.
Eccentric.
F?
Friendly.
Funny.
Fabulous.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Fortifying.
Fearless. Fearless.
Oh, yeah. G.
Gregarious.
Generous.
Grateful.
Oh, yeah.
Go getter.
Giving.
Yeah. H.
Helpful.
Honest.
Good.
High flying.
Ah. Yeah.
Honorable.
Yeah, good.
Happy.
Happy. Yes.
Happy.
Happy for sure. Everybody should say happy.
Happy.
All right.
Inspiring.
Yeah. Imaginative.
Intelligent.
Oh.
Insightful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Intelligent. Where the heck did that come from? Just-
All right, J. J. This is
Jolly.
easy. Joyful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jolly
Jovial.
good. Oh, good. Jolly good.
K.
It's got, what is it?
K.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, K.
Kind.
Oh, that's good.
Knowledgeable.
Oh, that's good.
Knowing.
Ah.
Come on, guys.
L. Lovely.
Loving.
Loving. Whoa. Wait, where do you live again? I'm just kidding.
Lots
See
of
me after
fun.
class.
Whoa.
See me after class.
What did you say, Sue?
I said lots of fun.
Oh, yes.
Ah.
Thumbs it up.
Take it in.
Likable.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah. That's very, very, very true. Yeah, you're gonna like them. It's like yeah, that's cool. Where are we going? M?
Mr. Manifest.
Muscular manifester.
Merry, because I have the Christmas trees. Merry.
Magical.
Oh,
A
yeah.
manifesting expert.
Miraculous. Miracle. Oh, manifester.
Yeah.
Miracle manifester.
Magnificent.
Oh,
Nice, Jonathan.
Moving. He moved
Yeah.
me some, for sure.
Yeah.
He moves my vibration.
right.
Master.
Motivational.
Good.
Yeah.
I will say now, N is one of the hardest words. So I'm going to get in with the first one I can think of. Nice.
No, that's good.
Can't go wrong with that.
I
Oh,
want to say now.
Mhm.
okay. And
Good.
the present.
Big Abraham.
Noble.
Ah,
Oh,
Said noble. Can I just say who said noble?
Mhm.
Thank you, because that is one word that has been escaping my mind when I do this from the sewing. Thank you.
For sure. Cool.
All right, Jonathan, where we at?
Oh,
Optimistic.
oh, good.
Good.
definitely.
Open.
outstanding.
Oh, that's
Original.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good one too.
You say optimist?
Yeah, someone said optimist, optimistic.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
Outgoing.
Marina on Facebook Live has offered some words and I missed them.
Oh, that's nice.
There's education, fun, limitless, and moving. Thank
Very
you,
nice.
Marina. Cool. So where we at?
I think we're still on O, aren't we? Or have we gone to P?
Hey,
Powerful.
persevering.
Pragmatic.
Sorry.
Who said that?
Persevering.
Persevering.
Mhm.
Yes, that's for sure.
Pretty
Pleasant.
darn cool.
Thank you, Nelly.
Passionate.
Oh yeah.
Playful.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
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 Oh
Wow.
yeah. Perfect. I did one. I didn't even know it. Thank you.
Poignant.
I only can think of one Q word, and that's quirky.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
Yeah. I thought of quirky when we were on K, and I said, wait a minute. I actually did. What is that?
Quizzical. Quizzical.
Oh, I
oh.
like that. I like
Oh.
that.
Yeah, it's a word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to look that one up later.
Yeah, yeah.
Meant to imply that you're always seeking,
Yeah,
looking for-
interested in
yeah,
inquisitive, but I mean with a Q.
inquisitive would be a better word, but Q.
Right, it's got to be a Q.
Are we on cue?
And he gives out quizzes. He does give quizzes. So
Oh.
quizzical.
Yeah, right.
Quality.
Right.
Quality is good.
There is
Quick.
a quiz at the end.
There'll be a quiz. Why did you say that?
There will be a quiz. Karen's writing down. She's a writer. She'll get an A on your test, Steve.
Are we on an R? Are we all on R?
Yeah, sure are.
Radiant.
Oh.
Affiliate.
What was that one?
Real.
Affiliate.
Oh, very good. Real, yeah.
Renowned.
Oh.
Mm.
Is she cheating? I think she has a dictionary over there or something.
Royal.
Oh.
Loyalty.
Reach.
Robust.
Respectful.
Oh, respected.
Radiant.
I'm respected.
And right.
Good.
Respectful. Respected.
Now, S is the easiest word going. I'm going to shut up here and let everybody else play.
Successful.
Sweet. Smart. Oh yeah, I got it.
All
All right, come on, girls. Somebody's got to say the word. Come on,
Smart.
you can do that.
Smart.
What's the word, guys?
Sovereign.
Sassy.
What's that, Natalie?
Sassy.
You got it.
Hey.
Oh,
You got it, sexy.
oh, sexy.
And sexy.
Okay.
Smart, sexy, and sassy.
Oh, I'll throw the two others that people are missing.
Easy, easy.
Super, stupendous.
Oh,
Superb.
yeah.
I don't know if that's said yet.
What did you say, charisma? I don't know if we heard.
I said smart, sexy, and sassy.
Easy, easy.
Eh.
I need to get some phone numbers after we're done here. Might be like an international, you know.
Did anyone
You're
say
manifesting all sorts of stuff, Stephen.
We'll work something out, you know. A video chat or something. I don't know.
We'll slide into your PMs.
sensational?
I'm gonna have like 13 private messages soon.
So we're at letter T.
Terrific.
Mm-hmm.
Tremendous.
Tenacious.
Ah.
Whoa.
Talented.
Mm.
And terrific.
Oh.
Right.
As a bloke, I don't want to say them, but I will. Tantalizing.
Go on. I'm just kidding.
U is another hard word, so I'll get the one major one. Unique.
Oh. Unbelievable.
Good one, Lynn.
Unstoppable.
Unbeatable.
Ah, that's better.
Unbreakable.
Oh, wait. And then there's the old song, Unforgettable.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
Unstoppable.
Everybody's hitting the UN words, aren't they? So I'll break the pattern with the UN words, and I'll go useful.
Ah.
It is positive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say the word universe, as in one with.
Very nice.
One with the universe.
So, V.
Victorious.
Yeah.
Very everything good.
Vigilant.
It seems so full of life, so I'm going to say virile.
Okay.
Vigilant.
Vital.
Mm.
Or vitality, both.
Victorious.
Nice.
Very confident.
Very confident.
W.
Wonderful.
Winner.
Witty.
Yeah, a lot of contests the answer is winner.
Yeah. Perfect.
The universe says he's the winner a lot. Yeah, so we might as well join in.
Did everybody hear me say whimsical?
Oh, I love that word.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's one of my favorite words. It's a fun word.
It's a fun word.
Yeah.
I've got to say this, wizard.
Oh, he's a wizard of love attraction.
I gotta write some of these down here.
Kiddo.
No, you'll have the recording so you can.
That's
do that
right.
later.
Yeah.
We'll-
Oh, I thought he had to recite them all back to us. No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm waiting for anybody
We're gonna test
an
you now.
X word. I'm waiting for anybody to get an X word and take it away from me.
What's that, X?
Yes, I'm waiting for anybody to get the X word and take it away from me.
I'm going to say extremely fun because we used X-ray for an X word. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that is a bit of a cheat. I will
Okay.
take that. But basically, when we've been playing this game for so long, it always comes to me with the X word
Yeah.
to say xenial, which means
Wow.
hospitable
Oh.
to foreigners and neighbours.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
The best I could do is if you played the xylophone.
Hang on.
How did you know? How did you know?
You had that look.
In the dictionary.
It's the nerdy look, you know? It's the positive, happy, nerdy look. You gave it away.
maybe the word is xylophonic.
Oh.
You know, kind of
Adjective.
musical, kind of
You're right.
harmonious.
In tune with the universe. Xylophonic.
Our new word.
That's so great.
Maybe xylophonic plays well with the universe.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Yeah, that's perfect.
We better send that one to Esther Hicks. Maybe she could use it.
You probably will.
Probably will.
It'll be the name of another book or something.
Right.
Yeah.
In the
Of course we
vortex or
won't.
xylophonic.
X factor. It's
Oh, right.
now in the dictionary.
X factors, that's something special. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, what's next? Useful. I was waiting.
Oh.
Useful. I mean, you're like a child in a wonderful way. Useful.
A child? Just kidding.
Yeah, useful. Yeah, you play like you're like you get excited like a child. Useful.
That's our job. It's to play all day, right? Isn't that what
Exactly.
everyone talks about?
Right.
You could just play all day in the playground. It totally, everything will click.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, why, guys?
Yummy. Oh, damn, a bloke who's just said a blooming word that could be taken the wrong way, but hey, I don't care.
What's the word?
I was going to say yummy too.
Oh, yummy.
Yeah.
Easy, guys. Easy.
Youthful.
The heck did I just manifest, you know?
You.
Making me blush. You guys are making me blush.
Oh, I'll make him blush even more. Young.
Young?
Young.
Yes.
We're all young at heart here. So young.
Fair. Just kidding.
So we have finally got to Z. Z, wherever you are in the world.
Zestful.
Ah.
Oh. Ooh, that's great.
I'm gonna say zippy. I don't know.
Nice.
Got a lot of zip. Yeah, Z is a tricky one. Let's see.
Jonathan, what's your word for Z?
Yeah.
I only can think of what with everybody else has said. Zoom, Zippy, Deskfall.
Yeah.
Zen.
And that, I think
Yeah,
that's
Zen, right. That's a
A
good
Zen
one.
I
manifester.
like I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's good.
bottom line, Scott, is we've had a few speakers and everything, and this is something I introduced for a bit of fun, but it's also to help raise our vibration in the group,
Very good.
raise your vibration, and show our appreciation for you.
Beautiful. Very nice.
Thank you.
So how
Thank
does that
you.
feel, Steve?
Do you feel zippy?
Do I have to go through A to Z or what?
Hey,
No,
yeah,
no.
right now repeat it all back.
Yeah. How do you feel from A to Z? Ha ha
Thank you
ha.
for the feedback. I feel like
We're
hugging
all
everyone
very-
right now.
we're all
I wish we could all
working
hug it out.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Very good. Very nice.
Especially you, Jonathan. Well, maybe a high five or something. You know?
Very good.
Okay, does anybody have anything else? We've got about, on the recording, we've got about 10 minutes left on the recording. I want to, a few more discussions, and then I'm going to have, or Steve, and I want to give you like 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes before we turn it off, to like summarize whatever, bring it home, summarize. And maybe you can just start that now, I guess. Just summarize how you feel, what the things that you want to, make sure that we get.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to tell everyone, you don't have to understand everything about Abraham and law of attraction for it to work. From my understanding, we're always manifesting. We're always attracting. But you can attract, you can manifest with intention by understanding even some of the basic principles. I have not read hundreds of law of attraction books. I haven't read, some of you guys I know have read a lot more books than me, have done seminars and stuff like that. And I know there's coaches that, some of these coaches charge hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Almost all the information that I learned from Abraham was actually for free. It's great if you want to get coached from somebody. It's great if you don't want to get coached. Don't let it limit you. And for me, to sum it up, would be honestly to follow your dreams, to understand that you can manifest anything you want in this life. It's just a matter of focusing on your belief, understanding your desires and knowing what you want, going after it and feeling excited and just trusting the process in the universe to manifest it, to have it attract to your reality. And of course, to be positive, happy, and thankful, to me, is the best, just living in a bliss, or trying to be more playful and just kind of like, almost like you're a kid in a playground. Why stress out so much at work, in life? We all have bills to pay. Most of us have to work. Just be a kid again. Did you ever go to a playground and watch kids play? They're not worried about bills. They're not worried about, rent due or groceries. They're just kind of having fun and just enjoying life. And I feel like so many people right now are kind of like losing their happiness. Maybe their energy's going down. Maybe they're not as happy as they used to be, like even a year ago, and just kind of reliving, focusing on your happiness. A lot of us are limited to being in our homes right now because of COVID, but there's so much you can do to raise your vibes, to raise your happiness, even just video chatting with friends, with family. You may not be able to see them right now directly or spend time with them, but you can still pick up the phone and talk to them. Just enjoying music, maybe go on YouTube, maybe watching movies that you've enjoyed in the past. trying to focus on happiness again. And then, like I said, it's just kind of raising your vibes, being more thankful and positive, and just being in more of a thankful state of mind will make a huge difference in everyday life. And of course, you know, the ability to manifest in a higher vibration always helps too.
Awesome, awesome.
Very
Should I
good.
pause like this maybe? I don't
Very
know.
good. Wonderful. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to stop the recording, but don't anybody go. We'll leave it on until 10. But
Are
I'm
we
going
gonna
to stop recording.
are we gonna have coffee and cake now?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do we do? Like freeze?
I'm just going to stop the recording because the size of the recording, so we can move it around and things like that. But don't go away. All right. Thank you so much, Steve. Everybody express appreciation for Steve right now, if
Thank
you
you,
would.
Steve.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much,
Thanks,
Steve.
Steve.
Great job.
Learned so much.
Clap. Feel free to clap if you want.
My phone's off, I do, but hang on.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Money. Don't send money. Just a clap is fine. You can always send me a message on Facebook. If you have any questions, anybody can send me a message on Facebook and I'll answer. And I don't charge or anything. I just feel like it comes back to you.
Thank you very much.
Steve,
Okay, we're still on Facebook Live. Another 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, so play all you want.
I have one more keywords for you. Encouraging.
Yeah.
I found your message to be exactly what I needed to hear.
Yes.
So
Me too.
encouraging and so much clarity, but really I just feel encouraged and I'm over the moon grateful. Thank you. If
you're ever in closer to my area, I'll make some coffee.
I'll be
No,
there.
he won't. He'll manifest it free.
Yeah, John's gonna pay.
Yeah, right.
Jonathan's gonna pay for it. He already said he was gonna. Right?
So everyone send your PayPal information to Jonathan to get free coffee, and then we'll all have virtual coffee on Zoom next. Or I can host that. I don't know. That'll be fun.
That'll work.
It would be very
Coffee.
fun.
Yes. Thanks, Jonathan.
In a state of abundance.
Thanks
Yeah.
for the Starbucks.
State of abundance. Why should I not share it?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Speaking of that, Krsna, that was a wonderful lead into what I was about to say. Anybody watching this still on Facebook Live or later on or whatever, anybody that's here, if you watch this video, if you've been here when Dory and I somehow manifested the idea of having a storyteller come on. And it could be, people that are well known, or it could be people that are not well known, and it could be anybody that just wants to be the storyteller. Tell your own little your story about, law of attraction, and then anything that comes up. So if you want to, and I'm just going to say this now, if you want to have a general format or an idea of how to prepare that or to do that, just what you just witnessed today, Steve, that was actually what Dory and we talked about it originally. We both somehow, the universe threw the idea in our head at the same time. And then we both came to Karen about the same day, I think it was, about this idea of having a storyteller. That was something that was wonderful. And we had generally at the beginning, general idea was something about just exactly what you did. A lot of your own personal stories, personal ideas, your personal terminology. And we all know how powerful that is, how wonderful it is. And anybody else, Krsna, Mark, I think we've kind of touched on the idea that maybe, Mark, you might want to do this sometime. Anybody that feels like that, just contact Karen. Anybody, on watching this on Facebook Live, if you inspired that you want to be able to be the storyteller one day, that you'd like to share your personal experiences, to just contact Karen, and she'll put you on the schedule.
I will put you
on. I have to it, Karen, before you say something, right? Mark and Karen have spoken as a couple of times. I have spoken 2 times. Now, anybody who sees my name on the screen, Jonathan Julius, Jonathan who is talking now. Julius to me is as Abraham is to Esther.
Ah.
Okay? And I have spoken once as Julius for fun. Or anybody who has spoken in the group, I'm sure if you were to go back on people who have done their stories would say, yes, it was fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're always looking for folks that want to share. Next week, we will have a fellow who does laughter yoga. He'll give a
Oh,
presentation. So that'll be really fun. I don't personally know him. Yeah, I'm excited to have his sharing. And after that, we don't have anybody particularly scheduled. And I might add also that Stephen, we always love to have people back more than once. Like Jonathan mentioned, Jonathan and Julius have both been here. Mark and I have shared a couple of times. Anybody who would like to share a second time, or but please think about it. If you feel inspired to share at any time, you too, Krsna.
Hi. I'm
Hi.
Chris. I'm Chris. Go ahead, call me Chris. I just want to say hi, but it is my first time being here, you know,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I am a long time spiritual aspirant that just somehow came onto Abraham about 14 months ago, and it was just like lightning meeting lightning, you know, and it was mostly like animated Abraham, you know, which is just fun because you get this cartoon image rolling in your head, you know, in her speech, which is just, you know, wonderful. You know, so and then I relate to Julie and Julius. I got something crazy like that going on there too. Different names.
I feel your energy. I feel your energy.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, Chris, you got to get in touch with Karen. You got to get.
We would love to sign. If you would like to share at any time, and it's a very free-flowing thing. I mean, Stephen made it look so easy, and it should be easy. If it's just you just share from your heart what matters to you, and it's a very informal. And we love doing that. It's so uplifting, just like it was tonight. This was just absolutely choice tonight.
Yes.
And so, yeah, please, everybody think about that. Yes, Sue.
Steve, did you do a manifestation process to do this tonight?
I'm sorry, your time's up. I'm just kidding.
He didn't, I did. No, he didn't. I did.
Jonathan did.
Well, honestly, like I was saying before, 2 years ago, I posted how I manifested my car. And in the post, I put, if anybody wants to contact me to interview me for this group, let me know.
And it was Dory.
And Jonathan. So that's a mic drop, Jonathan, right? A mic drop.
I would like to share something.
The mic drop because it was Dory who got to you before I asked.
We're all one.
Yeah.
How long she had this page on Facebook?
This group has been in existence. I think it was 2010. Something like that. Mark and I started it with the two of us.
Fantastic.
So we're thinking, well, maybe somebody might join once in a while. 47,000 people later, we're like,
wow.
47,000.
I wanted to come on Christmas. You weren't on Christmas. Then New Year's was my birthday. I said, I'm getting on New Year's. And that's always a holiday. So I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. Really nice.
Every Friday evening, same time, same station, same place. We do this, and it always varies, the folks who are involved, but we just love it. It's always perfect. It's always perfect. If there are only 2 people, Mark and me, or if there's 100 people, it's always perfect. It's always.
Can I ask you, where is it posted? Because I happened to see one post during the week, and then I couldn't find it today, so I contacted Kevin Young, and he sent me the link.
It's at the top of the page. I pin it at the top of the page.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Under announcements?
Under,
Yeah.
it's under announcements.
Oh,
and
that's why.
sometimes,
Okay.
yeah, maybe it doesn't stay obvious. I haven't quite figured that out, but I always
Yeah.
post it on Wednesday.
Oh,
And,
okay.
but that's a very good question, Lynn. And I'm glad
'Cause I was
Kevin.
looking tonight. I was looking tonight, and I saw a whole bunch of great things, but I couldn't. I didn't see the link. For this. So I'm glad I made it. So thank you.
I'm so glad you did too. And thank you for
Thanks so much.
mentioning that. I'll look into that
Yeah.
because I like that to be there all the time. And I'm just,
Yeah, unless I just didn't see it. I mean, I don't. It could be just,
others,
I don't know.
others have mentioned that as well. So I,
If you go to announcements, it's always there. It's
In
always
the
there.
word announcement.
announcements.
Click the word
Yeah.
announcements. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not obvious right at the top, but if you go to announcements, it's always there. And the
Okay.
link is in
Perfect.
there. Yeah.
exactly,
That's how I
exactly.
found it.
All
I'm
right.
so glad that you mentioned that, Natalia. That's
Okay.
right. And also under those announcements, then we have all of the previous videos, right?
Oh, the
Mark?
replays.
I think so, yeah.
The replays. Yes, the
Oh,
previous
wonderful.
ones. You could go right in there and just go right through. And you can also find them at the left of the main page under videos.
Okay,
Voila.
great.
And if all else fails, it's always the same link. It's
Yes.
zoom.abrahamfund.com. It's always going to be that. So
Oh, okay.
Many a
you.
time I'm sorry to interrupt, but this is a bit important for this. Many a time I do my best to get in on these chats. I do know me way around computers. If you do go to announcements and you even go to an old announcement that's still there, and it says, the Zoom link is on there, click on it. If it's Friday, it's a time I want to be there, you will, get the same link.
Ah, okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Very nice to spend time with all of you tonight. Thank you, Stephen.
Yes.
You're welcome.
It's always nice to see you, Sue.
Thank you,
Oh,
John.
yeah.
Appreciation to you.
I have
It's
fun.
Saturday afternoon in Australia. I'm
Oh,
off to a comedy show
good for
tonight.
you.
So,
Enjoy.
we've gone through a hard lockdown through Christmas where we couldn't go anywhere, and
Oh,
everything's opening up again. So
wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations.
Good.
it's a really
Enjoy.
I really appreciate this because I've been like yesterday I was kind of like in a kind of mood, and the whole time I was very conscious that I'm in a kind of mood. I know my inner being is I'm not in vibration with my inner being. I need to get into that call because I know my vibration will be lifted straight away. So thank you so much to everyone.
Wonderful.
Especially Stephen. Thank you.
And I can't wait to hear about when you get that perfect bed and breakfast.
I'll invite you all for the grand opening.
Yes.
3 rooms. I want a free room.
Free
I'm
coffee
gonna
and
manifest
candle
it.
wine.
I'm gonna manifest the free room.
Okay.
There, bed and breakfast.
In the
You'll have to.
UK, did I hear Natalie say about a bed and breakfast in the UK, or am I?
No, I actually saw a bed and breakfast in the UK on Instagram, which
what's
made
in the
me,
UK? Oh.
which made me want a similar building here in Australia.
Oh.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
The one
good.
in the UK is called NAB Cottage. And funnily enough, I work for NAB.
Oh.
So I thought that was really funny. NAB is a bank.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I saw it, I'm like, NAB Cottage, what's that? Is it to do with my
Wow.
work?
That's something.
Yeah.
It's on its way then. It's obviously
Yeah,
on
exactly.
Yeah,
That was a
absolutely.
sign of something to come. Very
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
All right, I'm going to go too, but thank you. Everybody was wonderful, and meeting everybody, and Karen and Mark, and the two of you are the organizers, correct? You're the creators, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And Stephen, that was great. Really very inspiring. I feel much more encouraged as was it Sue? The other lady said.
As Sue said, yes,
Yeah.
encouraged. I feel that too.
Yeah, very
and
helpful.
confident.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. All the best, everybody, and have a great weekend.
Hi, Lynn.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Lovely to meet
Yeah.
you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay, thanks so much. Bye-bye. I don't know how to turn it off now. Wait a minute.
Just,
This is
just act frozen.
I,
Uh,
I didn't hit it right.
Mark, Karen, I just got a nudge on my shoulder, a certain person saying, love the energy tonight.
You see the waterfalls in the background?
Mary.
Oh, I love that so much. The person who really came up originally with this idea of getting together for a little chat in our group was, her name was Mary Mock, and she is in non-physical now, but we feel her presence. Well, not but, of course we feel her presence. She's with us a lot. And then she nudges Jonathan and gives him little messages and little nice things. She always says nice things. And so that was Jonathan sharing that Mary really enjoyed the energy. And she loves funny
Occasionally
hats.
she'll nudge Dory as well, but
And
Dory's not
Dory.
here tonight, unfortunately, so.
I know, I wish Dory were here, but we'll see her next time, I betcha. Anybody else have something?
I had something
Yeah,
that I
Rob.
wanted to share.
Charisma, share, please.
Yes. Okay. So, when I was hearing everyone, well, like a couple of people saying, like, I manifested this, and I was like, wait, why does Stephen look so familiar and feel so familiar? I've never met him. Why does he look and feel so familiar? And they're like, I looked at the names, Stephen Scott, and I was like, no, it doesn't. And then someone like typed in, I saw in the little chat, his Stephen Randy Scott, and I was like, yes, I know that name. I know that name. Where have I seen? And so like I had to use my other phone to type in that name to search it, because I was like, this is driving me crazy. I know there's something, and it says Stephen Randy Scott, $1 Million Manifesting Club, and I was like, I've been wanting to meet and talk to that person for like a year and a half. So I manifested this too. Yay! I was like, oh wow.
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for telling us that.
Like I did a little challenge in his group, was like the 7-day manifesting cash challenge. It was like, it says April 1st, 2019 is when it was.
Wow.
And that was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Like he was like encouraging us to like, like manifest like a cup of coffee, or what was it, like within, like manifest something within a week, and like a small something like winning $50 or a cup of coffee, or finding money, even if it's a penny. And I was like, yeah, this is fun. I like this.
Oh,
anything that has no resistance to it.
Yeah. At the time, I think it's still up actually, but we used to have these weekly like manifests, and I would have everybody in the group focus on like 2 or 3 items, and like one would be like a free meal or somebody offering a free cup of coffee. So the idea was to build up everyone's belief in manifesting. If you talk to even like 100 people in some of these law of attraction groups, they will tell you everything that Abraham talks about. But then they'll also say, I can never manifest anything. So I'm always like, okay, well, start with smaller items, build up your belief again, because I feel like sometimes we're all waiting for the big car or the big house or the big promotion, that we almost lose sight or our belief in our ability to manifest. You can still focus on the bigger items, but let's have some fun and manifest that free cup of coffee or that free meal. Or I think one of them was somebody saying thank you to you, something so small like that, or getting like a really close parking spot or something like that. Like I said, I think a lot of times people are so focused on the bigger manifests that they lose sight on even the small ones.
That's the thing. And I will say this, right? Going on the thing about manifesting 3 cups of coffee and everything, I give a lift to a person at work, and every day he like buys the coffees on the way into work. Yes, he gives him petrol money as well, but you know, manifesting 3 cups of coffee. But also, he actually, although he is a non-Aba, and I don't like saying this, but he can be a bit negative sometimes, he is very appreciative of me giving him his lift and everything. And a very honourable person, I've times in the past has said, don't want any fuel money, but he's insisted, you know, so.
Yeah. I had a week where I literally manifested like 6 meals. And I remember telling a coworker, I'm like, you know what, at this point, it doesn't matter if I ever don't work, if I'm homeless, I'm good. I'm always going to have a meal. I'm always going to be able to manifest a shelter. You know, I think some of us just get so wrapped in thinking that we need to have this huge house and this huge job, or, you know, like, I mean, yeah, it's great to have dreams like that, but you can manifest even smaller things. Like I do it for parking spots all the time. Or here's something fun, guys, because I do have kind of like a fun personality. I'll think of something that I will listen to on the radio, and I'll say to myself, this will play by the end of the week. And 9 times out of 10, it will play. Have you guys ever experienced that? You'll think of something on the radio, and all of a sudden 2 or 3 days later, or a week or 2 later, it's like, boom, you're jamming out, and you're like, wait a second. I said to myself, I was thinking about this a week ago.
With music.
Can I?
Sorry.
In my car, listening to classical music on the radio, thinking of Bon Jovi, blooming do the auto search on the radio, and it comes to another blooming channel, and what comes on? Living on a Prayer.
Yes. And that, Jonathan, is a manifest, even though it just seems something so minor. It really is. Something as small as music, or a free cup of coffee, or a closed parking spot. You're thinking to yourself with the intention that it's going to happen. Again, if you do smaller stuff over time, it's going to build up your confidence into the bigger items, the bigger dreams, the bigger desires.
I was just going to say, with music, sorry, Jonathan. With music, for me, it's instant. Like I was in the car like a few weeks ago, and I thought, oh, there's that song that I like. I can't even remember what it's called. I love that song so much, from a few years ago, and it was one of those songs where you hear it for the first time and just love it instantly. I turn on the radio, that's the song. And even today, I was in the garage and I'm singing this song in my head. I'm like, oh, I love this song. Turn on the radio, there's a song. You know, it's with music, somehow it's instant for me.
Now, a lot of people, when that happens, they don't recognize that it's a manifest. But if you can start recognizing even the smaller things, it builds up your belief. I'm telling you, I do this all the time. I'll think of a friend that I haven't spoken to in years, and then I'll be at the grocery store like 3 weeks later, and I'll run into the friend, and I'll be like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you. Or I'll think of a friend I haven't spoken to in a while, and all of a sudden I get a message on Facebook. Hey, how's everything going? I haven't talked to you in a while. So like I said, you can do smaller stuff. Don't focus so much on the bigger ones. Just kind of play around with it in your mind, the smaller ones, and then watch it happen. And you're going to think to yourself, wow, you know what? That crazy Steve guy or Mr. Manifest that's saying that like we can do all this stuff. I'm proving you can prove it to you with the smaller stuff, and then you can focus on the bigger desires later on.
I have a song story I got to share with you guys. I have to share this with you now. It's a song story that got to share. Many years ago, I was working a contractor, some stuff for a guy, one of people. Anyway, and he died. He has older children, and he has a younger child, something maybe like 10, a boy, and like adult children in 2 different marriages. And he died. I went to I don't even know what you call it. He was Jewish, and it was a gathering at his house. And it was a long drive down there. And I thought, you know, what can I do? And I was driving, and I said, okay, I want to give him something. I want to give them family something. And I said, okay, I'm going to turn on the radio, and whatever comes up on the radio is going to be something. That's all I said. And this is, I don't think I do this all the time. This is many years ago. I had a desire and a belief. So I turned the radio on, and the very first thing that showed up was Aladdin, A Whole New World. And I listened to it, and it meant something. I don't know. I felt it. Just that song. When I went down there, and there was a time to share ideas, and I said, okay, I've got to say this to you guys. I don't know what it means. And I told them, I said, I don't know what this is. I'm just saying I got it. I felt like I should share this with you. I told them that's what I did, and that was the song that came on in Aladdin. And you should have seen the look on those people's faces. The night before, the young child and his older two siblings, and one of the mothers, I think, were outside, and there was a shooting star that they noticed, a shooting star. And there was something else about a carpet, but that song, they said, wow, that's what that shooting star that we saw last night was. That was Dad, right? So I didn't know the details. All I know is it meant something, and it was like it was the little boy especially. It was like, my dad is here. And so songs can pop up sometimes, and they have a thing. They can be an answer to a manifestation or a request that you have. So I just had to share that, the idea of a song, and when a song comes on, and what it could mean or something like that. So it's the only time that's ever happened, by the way, but it was so special.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do it to parking spots all the time. Like before COVID, before our college went online because of COVID, you know, I work on a campus with 10,000 students and over 500 teachers and employees. And what I would do is when I was leaving my house and drove the 10 or 15 minutes, I would say to myself, I'm going to get a really close spot. And I know it's not a big deal, but when you're on a campus with like 10,500 cars, it becomes a big deal. It's like living in a city. And I would get to the parking lot, and usually there would be an upfront spot, or somebody would just happen to be pulling out when I would be driving in the parking lot. And my coworkers used to laugh and say, there's the guy that gets all the close parking spots. And they don't realize that it's not luck. You know, some people would say that I'm this lucky guy because I keep winning contests and getting all these close parking spots. But really, it has nothing to do with luck. It's just the idea of you're putting it out there and you're just expecting it to happen.
Isn't that
Karen and I,
too.
I was just about to say, isn't that on The Secret, the one about the man who's saying about manifesting the parking spots and everything?
Car park or something like that. The guy said car park. Sometimes Karen and I, we pull into like a shopping plaza, and like the very closest parking spot to the store is available, and we used to grab it and feel good. And then some years ago, I said, there's our parking spot, but what we're going to do is we're going to give it to somebody that will appreciate it more. So, I mean, we've already manifested it. We got the feeling. That's what's important. And then I would just park not in that parking spot and think about somebody's going to get that parking spot, and they're going to feel this is my lucky day, you know. So there's a lot of ways to play this, but I have parked at a campus at UCF around here, and I'm going to take that spot because it's hard to find a good parking spot at a college campus for sure. But yeah, those parking spot things can be magical in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Mark, did you have some? I'm sorry. I wanted to make sure if Mark had something to share.
I do have something to share.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah. I had a manifestation last week. I was watching a podcast with Tim Ferriss, and he's got all these great ideas, and really got me really excited. And so I'm getting excited, writing down ideas. And one of the things was lucid dreaming, which is something I've tried to do in the past. It was fairly difficult, and so I got excited about it. Just wrote it down, forgot about it. That night, had a lucid dream where all of a sudden I'm in my dream, and then I see the clock and I'm like, okay. And I focus in on it. The hand starts spinning backwards really fast. And I'm like, okay, I'm in a dream. I'm lucid dreaming. And that was, yeah, it was really neat.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I have a little story really quick since we have some time. So I got pulled over the other week for speeding. Okay. And I was with my coworker, right? We were kind of speeding around, and I'm not encouraging people to try to get out of tickets or anything, but we got pulled over, and I told my friend, we're going to get out of this part. We're going to get out of the speeding ticket. Okay. Just go with me, Michael. And I'm looking around, right? I'm inside my car because the cops sometimes take forever. They have to run the plates and stuff like that. And there's like a bottle of water. And basically what I did was I poured it around my private area. And when the cop came over, I said, "I'm so sorry, officer. I had to go to the bathroom really bad." And I looked down and he's like, "It's fine, just go."
That was very creative.
It manifested, but I did have wet pants when I got home. But speeding tickets can be a couple $100.
Yeah, there you go.
Very creative.
You gotta be creative, guys. You gotta be creative.
I'm just going on about it's speeding and sorry, go on. Someone else? No, when it comes to speeding and well, not so much speeding, but Esther in a new Audi, and she's driving to this corner that says, "Don't take it above 50." And and she goes a bit faster, a bit faster, a bit faster. She says, "What's right on the sign? Don't believe it." Or words to that effect. I don't know the exact workshop.
Yeah, I knew I would get out. Now, that was something that just came to me in like 2 seconds. It really wasn't planned. The water was literally sitting next to me, and I thought on instant, you know what I mean? I didn't even put much thought into it. But I knew we would not get a speeding ticket. I focused on the desire, not how I was going to get out. Just remember that, guys.
Right. Good.
And you were inspired. You were
Try it
inspired
next time you get pulled over, just always have water with you. Save yourself a couple $100 or don't speed, one of the two.
One of the two, yeah. All right, guys, it's been very extremely wonderful and fun. Thank you so much, Steve. We're gonna shut it down, and anybody wants to do this, and Steve, we want you back. Okay, we want you back on the schedule some other time, whenever. Just contact Karen. She's the scheduler of things. We'd love to have you back for sure, and anybody else wants to share their story. So good night, everybody. I have a button here. You have a button that says leave. I have a button that says end.
Don't do it.
So goodbye, Facebook Live.